We're 5 years into the 3DS's life cycle, and Nintendo is showing no signs of slowing down on their support for the handheld, which is why we at GameRanks are here to count down the top 10 3DS games of 2016. Number 10, Zero Escape Zero Time Dilemma. The third and presumably final game in the Zero Escape series, Zero Time Dilemma will once again take 9 characters and put them through a Saw-like scenario of being forced to solve a variety of escape room puzzles with life or death consequences. It's a crazy storyline told over the course of both the game 9 Hours, 9 Person, 9 Doors, and Virtue's Last Reward, but Zero Time Dilemma is looking to appeal to a larger audience this time around, scrapping the usual visual novel style of the previous games in favor of a more traditional style of using fully animated cutscenes. Number 9, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. The 3DS is quickly becoming the game device of choice for hardcore RPG fans, and when you talk about hardcore RPG fans, you have to mention Shin Megami Tensei, which itself is actually an entirely separate game from Shin Megami Tensei 4, which was released in the US in 2013. The game is set in the same world, but during a completely different era, with a new story and starring a cast of new characters. The game is already out in Japan and received a score of 35 out of 40 from Famitsu, which is good news for series faithful when the game hits US shores this summer. Number 8, Bravely Second End Layer. The sequel to the game that many people considered a better Final Fantasy game than most Final Fantasy games released in the last decade, Bravely Second continues the story that was started in Bravely Default and features one of the best turn-based combat systems you'll ever see in a handheld RPG. The game is already out, and though there are some reviews that were less than impressed by the game's story this time around, the consensus seems to be that Bravely Second is yet another fantastic entry that brings us back to the glory days of 16-bit RPGs. Number 7, Rhythm Heaven Megamix. I love the Rhythm Heaven games. They're just a quirky and jolly good time and an excellent game to just pick up and play in short bursts, which is exactly what handheld games are best for. Megamix is a collection of more than 100 rhythm minigames, with 70 of them coming from past Rhythm Heaven games, including the original Game Boy Advance game, which was never released stateside. Number 6, Metroid Prime Federation Force. This one is gonna get some heat, I know, but I want to give Federation Force a chance. It's developed by Next Level Games, and if you look at their Nintendo track record, from Super Mario Strikers to Punch-Out to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, they make great games. It may not be the return to the Metroid franchise that we want, but a co-op-focused first-person Metroid game could potentially be pretty cool. Number 5, Monster Hunter Generations. Monster Hunter Generations, or Monster Hunter Cross as it's called in Japan, is the latest in the beloved Monster Hunter franchise and kind of serves as an anniversary celebration of a decade's worth of Monster Hunter. Generations features 4 flagship monsters known as the Fated 4 unique hunting styles, 4 villages, and a whopping 105 monsters to hunt that span all 4 generations of Monster Hunter. For Monster Hunter fans, Generations might just be the quintessential game in the series. Number 4, Kirby, Planet Robobot. Nothing against Epic Yarn and Rainbow Curse, but Kirby's always at his best when he's sucking. The big hook this time around is that Kirby can pilot a giant mech which also has the ability to copy enemy powers. So essentially you're getting double the abilities since each power has a particular effect on Kirby and another for when he's in the mech. Is it gimmicky? Yeah, sure, a little. But you know what? That's part of the appeal of Kirby games. They're just light, gimmicky, platforming fun for all ages, and I mean that in the best possible way. Number 3, Dragon Quest 7 and 8. I'm including both of these in at number 3 because the excitement that I have for both of these games is exactly the same, and even though they're not being sold together, they both deserve the same amount of recognition on the list. Dragon Quest 8 is one of the best RPGs of the PS2 era, and bringing it to the 3DS gives not only longtime Dragon Quest fans an opportunity to relive the adventure, but also opens the door for a whole new generation of fans to check the game out. And then you have Dragon Quest 7, which was never released outside of Japan. The version on the 3DS will also be the remade version that includes a number of visual upgrades in addition to visible enemy encounters as opposed to random encounters. It's a good time to be an RPG fan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, Fire Emblem Fates. By now, everyone and their cousin has probably played Fire Emblem Fates and knows that it's one of the best Fire Emblem games yet. The game was actually split into 3, Birthright, Conquest, and the downloadable Revelation, which one might think would be an example of Nintendo trying to squeeze as much money as they can out of one game, but the reality is that all 3 parts of the Fates saga offer very different experiences and stories, each one worth playing on their own. And of course, number 1, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon is kind of an enigma at this point, as we honestly don't know all that much about it. But despite not knowing all that much, we do know that it exists, that it's coming out this year, and that's enough to get people excited about it. It's an entirely new generation of Pokemon, and along with that come the guarantees of a host of brand new Pokemon to train, a new world to explore, and a new story to discover. Personally, more so than the guarantees, I'm more interested in what Sun and Moon are going to do differently this time around. X and Y added 3D models to all the characters and completely changed the way we view Pokemon games from a visual perspective. Will Sun and Moon offer some radically new gameplay features to spice up the usual Pokemon formula? We want to hear from you, so let us know in the comments what you expect or hope to see from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Also, if you think we missed something, let us know that too. We're always excited to check out the awesome games that slip by our radar. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like, hit that subscribe button, and keep it locked to Game Ranks for more awesome videos every single day. I've been your friendly neighborhood Spidey, and I'll see you next time.